Well, Raw from a couple of nights ago may or may have not done one of the worst ratings in the show's history, and there is no may or may not about it. It did, but we don't worry about ratings here on Ups and Downs. We only worry about the product, about the show itself, and whether each individual segment gets an up or whether it gets a down. But we've done Raw. Raw's done for this week, so now we look forward, or now, in this sense, we look back to yesterday. You know what I'm talking about? And we focus on SmackDown instead, because does SmackDown get an up? Does SmackDown get a down? There's only one way to find out, and that's for you to join me, Simon Miller, as I fly through the show like this. Watch this. See that? That's me flying, and see what I thought about it. I watch wrestling so you don't have to. Less up, those downs. Right, we have got to stop scripted promos. That's how we start this week. We get right on the bandwagon because Paige kicked off SmackDown with a promo and she used the word dastardly. This isn't a cartoon from the 80s where some dude and his dog try to win a race. Also, this was in reference to what Samoa Joe did last week. Down. Paige also said this is the worst thing that has ever happened in SmackDown history, and that's not true. That is a lie. Don't lie to me. Don't have me tune in to your little television program and lie to my face. It hurts my face, hurts my cheeks. Don't make my cheeks cry. Anyway, we did get an update about all of this, and it turned out that Joe never entered the house, but charges were pressed against him. And because all of this was so dastardly, Paige had got together with WWE management and they'd all decided, you know what? We're gonna fire Samoa Joe. However, after a call with AJ Styles, that's not gonna happen because the champion wants his chance to beat up Samoa Joe at the Super Showdown, which very handily is happening in a few days. So that all worked out just, well, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Now, I get this, I really do, and I still love the feud, but if there's not going to be any consequences, don't even mention the fact that there could be consequences. We've seen loads of home invasions throughout the years, but we've never had a fallout as specific as this. It's just treated as fair game, which is still dumb, but it's not as dumb as this. So in this scenario, go for the less dumb option. Stars also told us he's not going to be on SmackDown this evening because he is at home watching over his family. But AJ, do you know what a great way to protect your family is? You press charges, you get the police involved, and then you can go to work and you know the cops are watching over your wife and your kids. It's really simple. The champ was also worried that if he saw Samoa Joe on this evening, he would kill him, and the whole time, as I noticed, he was sat next to a garishly green cushion. It all ended with AJ Styles saying in Australia, he is actually going to kill Samoa Joe. He's going to bury him alive. I'm pretty sure when that does happen, the Samoan family, or the Joe family, whatever you want to call them, is not going to drop charges. This is all going to be very interesting. We then had a bizarre match that saw R-Truth and Carmella take on Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. Like that John Travolta gif. Down. The real issue here was that it was a lose-lose straight away. Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas have been on a roll as of late, so they don't want to take the pinfall. And R-Truth and Carmella are brand new, so they don't want it either. But they did win, and Andrade and Zelina did lose. I mean, there was nothing too much to the match. Carmella got the victory after she locked in the code of silence. But, why are we doing this? I thought Andrade Cien Almas was doing really well, and now he loses every single feud and match he's in. When was the last time he won? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. I'll look over here. Look over there, look over there. Nobody knows. I gotta talk about Truth's entrance as well. Does it sound just a little bit like he goes, I'm going over there, I'm going over here, where I'm going next, I'll go over there. Finally, just to wrap up a few things from last week, I do like R-Truth, and I think Carmella is fine, but I do think the fact that Carmella has just transformed into a babyface for no reason is stupid. And up, I guess, for Ty Dillinger finding Paige backstage and demanding a match with Randy Orton. I mean, at least that makes sense. It's got continuity. Orton did beat him up last week. Paige said to him, whoa, pal, you don't want that. I mean, who has seen Jeff Hardy since he had his match with Randy Orton at Hell in a Cell? But Ty Dillinger didn't care about that. He was upset. He was mad. He's going to have his match later. At least Dillinger's on TV. That's why I got an up. New Day were up next, and as always, it was at least entertaining up to a point. Gets an up. Xavier, Kofi and Big E were about to host their brand new segment known as New Day Cooks, and they were going to reveal the secret behind their delicious pancakes. Big E had the best line here, where he said all of this was sponsored by Ico Pro. That's a line for old people like me. A lot of you probably have no idea what Ico Pro was, but that's why Google exists. Either way, Big E, I appreciated that. Thank you. Naturally, the bar eventually turned up and they beat up the New Day for always goofing off, which is kind of true. That is what the New Day do. Until, oh my gosh, they focused on Mr. Bootyworth, who would come out with the tag team champions. They poured pancake batter into his hat and then made him wear said hat, and all of a sudden my brain was transported back to mid-90s WWF. And you can decide whether that's a good thing or whether it's a bad thing. They will, of course, finish this feud on Saturday at Super Showdown, and it really should be some kind of pancake match. You can surround, like you have the ring full of pancakes that when you fall, you're like, oh, my back. Pancakes. Oh. It was meant to be Orton versus Dillinger afterward, but it never happened because of course it didn't. We get to know. Tyler walloped Randy right out of the gates, but he couldn't keep this momentum up because the Viper took control and even gave him one of those draping DDTs onto the ring mats. He then exposed the metal behind the turnbuckle, and he took Ty Dillinger's finger and he shoved it in there and he tried to break it off. And that was really sick. And fair play to Randy Orton for coming up with these crazy ways to hurt his opponents. I mean, they're all disgusting, but they're disgusting in an innovative way, and I like that. Now, I don't know what's next for this feud, or if now Ty Dillinger's going to come out with like half a finger, but you know what? For a little segment on SmackDown, it was alright. And another up for learning that not only is Shelton Benjamin finally back on SmackDown, but it was The Miz that hooked him up with a match against Daniel Bryan. There's your up. Miz wants Benjamin to lay waste to Bryan so that his job on Saturday in Australia is a lot easier. And I'm all alright with that. This will happen backstage. Benjamin was all like, I need my moment. I haven't been on TV for ages. And I straight away look forward to seeing that in a couple of minutes' time. Which brought us to a segment I think we were all looking forward to, and that was Aiden English revealing one night in Milwaukee. Up. Started with Rusev asking English what the hell he was talking about last week, and Aiden English went on this big rant talking about Milwaukee and films, to which Lana got involved with and said, "You're stalling, man, because I know you don't have any footage." And English was, "Oh yeah? Roll the footage," which he did. Kinda. We saw English topless in a hotel room as he practiced some songs, because obviously when this was aired, WWE was in Milwaukee and he wanted to find the right tone to insult the fans of that city. But then Lana arrived, she knocked on his door and said to Aiden English, "I want you." Scandalous. Aiden then stopped the tape and said he's not going to show us anymore because he's got a deal with TMZ and he doesn't want to cheat on that deal. You get it? Cheat, because he's saying that Lana cheated with him. You get it, you get it. Lana was adamant there was more to this video and demanded that English continue to play it. He refused. Rusev chased him out of the arena. Then we had a bit of fracas between Rusev and Lana, as Lana was telling him, "Look, babe, there's more to that." And Ruru was like, "Not now, we'll do this later." All right, cool, we dropped some hints. We're going to drag this out for a while. I think that's the best way to play it. It needs a decent payoff, but the over-the-top nature of it makes it really enjoyable to watch. Where we go after all is said and done, I have no idea. I don't know what the future is for Aiden English, but as of tonight, I like this too. It was then indeed Bryan versus Benjamin, and boy howdy did I get a kick out of this. Up. Just one of those matches I didn't realise I wanted until I got it, and they both